Hey, what's good with it, Black Goose TV family, man? Double salute as always. It's your boy Fluence back again. Another day. We here. How is everybody out there, man? Nothing but blessings, positivity that I'm sending y'all way. Hopefully, y'all feeling good. Y'all feeling great. I ain't even finna cap to y'all. I'm gonna be absolutely 100 with y'all when it comes to this live. Like, obviously I'm gonna be talking about which y'all can see below when it comes to the title. Those topics are going to be covered as well as other things because you know what I'm saying, when it comes to fluence, when it comes to Black Goose TV, we can get all over the place, but that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I let the conversation run fluid. I don't like to get in the way of the flow. I like it to happen how it happens. But to start this thing off, man, I gotta have a little venting session. I ain't gonna be too much, but it's gonna be just enough because I need to feel better. You know what I'm saying? I need to feel better. Why am I saying that? Look, y'all, I'm not even gonna cap to you. Today was one of them days, man. Today was a rough day. And it's not even in the sense where, like, you know what I'm saying, things was like difficult or anything crazy happened, because that wasn't the situation. I've had you know what I'm saying, I've been through way worse than what today was. Y'all already know I've documented a lot of stuff on this channel, but today was just one of them days, man. Work, couple deals fell through. I'm stressed about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about it constantly because I'm gonna have to deal with it tomorrow. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to I don't wanna think about it, right? And me talking about it is making me think about it, which makes me more stressed. But at the same time, it's just like I was like, also that's why I do what I do, because I do kind of enjoy this type of, you know what I'm saying, keeps you on your toes type. You know what I'm saying? It's not really boring, but still at the same time, when you got days like this, and I'm not gonna get too specific because I don't need to, but when you got days like this, it's like, man, sometimes I just wish my job and I ain't have to deal with these type of things, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Threw me off my game. I was feeling type of way. I'm doing 6 days on, 1 day off when it comes to my workouts. By the way, y'all, I'm about to bring back the daily check-ins. I'm about to bring that back tomorrow. So y'all look out for the daily check-ins. That's coming back. But right now my workout schedule, 6 days on, 1 day off. Use my day off today because it was such a bad day. And I was just like, man, I just want to go home and be in my feelings. And that's what I was on. I'm not even finna cap. It's okay, y'all. It's okay. Man, we can be on that type of time sometimes. Don't be scared to do that. Sometimes that is necessary. So I was just soaking all day, came to the crib, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm gonna take my day off today. I'm just gonna be in my feelings, get under my covers, you know what I'm saying, cry. You know what I'm saying? No cap. So, it's just crazy now though, because I'm like, you want to get that escape, you know what I'm saying, from thinking about whatever the case may be, obviously what I'm having had to deal with when I go back to work tomorrow, but it's like days be going by so quick. It's already like where I'm at, it's already 10:30, like it's already tomorrow basically, you feel me? So I was like, man, let me go live. Obviously, I want to keep doing what I've been telling y'all that I'm going to do. I'm going to stay consistent on YouTube. I'm like, we not, you know what I'm saying, cutting corners no more. We not taking hiatuses, you know what I'm saying? We're not taking breaks no more. We on this fully. Unless something crazy happens, you know what I'm saying, God forbid, knock on wood type. But, and even if something crazy does happen, I'm going to still keep rolling through it so y'all can see what's going on. But I was like, let me, like before the night is over, let me go live tonight, man. Just another way for me to just totally forget about what happened today, and I'll just be reminded about it when I wake up in the morning and deal with it there, because that's life, right? That's just what it is, man. So that's just a quick vent session, man. Today was a rough day for your boy. I'm hoping it only gets better. I'm hoping by the weekend shit is solved and I'm having a great weekend. I don't gotta have that on my mind, because y'all know the weekend's gonna be lit. It's gonna be up. Obviously, I've been saying this since I came back to doing these consistently, which has only been 2 days in a row, but we on our third. So salute to me. Uh, what a better week to come back and doing lives and talking fights and talking combat sports and just talking life in general. You know what I'm saying? In this week, because obviously, as you guys see the title down below, Terence Crawford, Errol Spence. And yeah, I know y'all like, damn, you gonna talk about this fight every single night? Yes, I'm going to. This week, I'm going to. And y'all know I don't like doing this. If you've been following my channel long enough, you know I don't like doing that. I don't like talking about the same thing over and over and over. But in this particular case, in this particular space, it only makes sense because this is seen as one of the biggest fights in boxing history. You know what I'm saying? Not just in the last decade, like I was saying yesterday, not in the last 5 years. In history, this is one of the biggest fights. Only the second time we can unify the division when it comes to the welterweight division. Only the second time in its entire history when it comes to boxing. Boxing is one of the oldest sports known to man. So that is a phenomenal thing. So yes, I'm gonna be talking about this every goddamn day until the fight happens. But we also know this weekend we also got UFC. UFC got a fire ass card from top to bottom. So I can't wait for Fluence Lounge, man. I do honestly wish that what I promised y'all where it comes to my setup was gonna be a lot cleaner. But I just haven't had the time. I haven't been able to, get into that space where I could get my setup and everything straight, you know, how I want it to be and, upgrade and all that good stuff. But it's going to be there. And I wish it was for this weekend. It's not. But either way it goes, I'm saying? I'm still going to be doing Fluence Lounge, and Fluence Lounge is going to be lit because, I'm saying? We got, like I said, history in the making with Terence Crawford, Errol Spence. And then obviously we got a great UFC card as well that night. So I can't wait for that. So that's why I'm hoping, man. This struggle of a day that I got or I had, that's probably going to spill over tomorrow. But you know what I'm saying? I don't want to speak negativity in existence. So let me speak positivity and say that everything's going to be figured out tomorrow. Everything's going to be smooth and everything's going to go the way that I hope and I want it to go. So let me speak positivity. But either way, you know what I'm saying? I hope it gets resolved. No, I know it's going to get resolved by Friday so we can really turn up. So that was my little moment of me venting. And let me live, let me vent a little bit. That's how I was feeling. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all, everybody who's listening or ain't listening, whatever the case may be. It's just therapeutic. So that is what it is. All right, now that that's out the way, man. Hopefully y'all having a much better Wednesday. It's crazy, it's already Wednesday, but hopefully y'all having a much better Wednesday than I am. Where I'm at is 10:34. Where y'all at, whatever time it is. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy it. But we're gonna get into some things, man. We got some topics to talk about. We got some boxing to touch on. We got some people to give our opinions to. You feel me? And obviously, you guys can see the title down below. While you're looking at the title, show your boy some love and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, you feel me? All that good stuff, comment, blah, 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 blah. Do the YouTube shit, you feel me? But with all that being said, we got some things we really want to talk about. And one of the main points that we're going to be talking about is going to be Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo has something to say. He gave his prediction. Obviously, a lot of there's nothing wrong with giving your prediction, especially when you win a sport, especially when you heavily celebrate it, especially when Jermell Charlo has a big fight himself coming against Canelo for undisputed. You know what I'm saying? In two different weight classes. But Jermell Charlo gave his opinion. That's not a long video. I'm going to play that. We're going to watch that. I also want to play and react to a little bit of what Terence Crawford have to say because today they had the undercard workouts, open workouts for Terence Crawford's Errol Spence. They interviewed both Errol Spence and Terence Crawford at those open workouts. So I want to play that, give a little reaction to that joint, and then maybe just watch a little bit of the media workouts. The media workouts happened about 6-7 days ago, but I never watched it. And remember, you know what I'm saying, if you did watch yesterday, if you did catch it, if you didn't, whatever the case may be, one of the biggest reasons why I'm going live every night this week is because I want to get hyped for this fight. And I explained it yesterday, so I'm not really going to repeat myself because, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to beat a dead dog, you know what I'm saying, what they say, or a dead horse, whatever the case may be. I'm not as hyped for this fight as I should be, right? I feel like I should be a lot more hyped for it. And that has nothing to do with the actual fight being good. That just happens to do with me and not really tuning in and paying attention to where I should be. Like, you know what I'm saying, Monday when I was on the live stream, you feel me, I was telling people, like, I'm a casual right now because I am not tuned in. I'm not tapped into the boxing streets. I'm just not right now. So I'm trying to get myself back hyped. I'm trying to get myself back to that, to where I used to be hyped for the smallest fights. You feel me? Like a fight like this, usually I would be going crazy for, but since I've been just so out of that space, you know what I'm saying, I'm not where I should be. So one of the biggest reasons I'm doing these live streams every night is for me to get me back in a space where I'm really hyped and I'm really happy and I'm really just can't wait for this fight. But obviously, like I said, for the other reasons, man, you know what I'm saying, tap in back with y'all BlakGooseTV family, have my little therapeutic sessions, have a little fun, just have an outlet, you feel me? So with all that being said, with all that being set up, salute, double salute, as I say. Much love to the people. Once again, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If y'all come up in here, you got something to say. As always, man, comment on that joint. Feel free to go crazy with it because I'm never tripping. And if the time is right, hey, I may drop the link so y'all can come up here and talk your shit. Now, I won't even cap to you. I don't plan for tonight's live to be that long. Last two lives, you know what I'm saying, both were damn near 2 hours or maybe a little bit over 2 hours. I don't plan for this live tonight to be that long. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking maybe going around the hour mark, but we'll see how it goes. You never know. Like I said, when the shit is flowing, This shit is flowing. You feel me? And I'm not gonna stop the flow. But that's my plan. I just want to watch some of these videos that I haven't watched, get myself back in the mood and ready to go. And then we're gonna be back strong as hell tomorrow. Go crazy with it Friday, and it's, Saturday night's gonna be the night where we're gonna be all lit, watching it up, doing it up, Fluence Lounge all day long. All right. So let's get right up into it, man. I did my little intro to the peoples. You feel me? So let's start off with the beginning. The first topic, as y'all can see down below, Jermell Charlo has some words for Terence Crawford, and I got the video chime ready to go. It's right here, but I want to see maybe if there's a longer one real quick. That's probably something I probably should have did before, but I was just thinking, I was like, man, that's kind of a short video right there. Let me see if that got clipped. So it didn't. All right, he got something quick to say. So let's see. Let's go. We're going on Fight Hub to listen to what he has to say real quick. Let me let the ads go through all that good stuff. You feel me? Once again, shout out to the people. Much love to everybody. We back in here doing our thing, man, on a daily basis. I love it. Let's turn this up for the people. You feel me? This was at the undercard media workouts, y'all.
What's Errol about to do Saturday, Jermell?
It says 6. I'll play that one more time. In case y'all didn't catch it. So in case y'all ain't catch it, Errol Spence was walking. You feel me, Mel? He there. He supporting his boy and Errol, and it was like, "Hey, yo, who you got winning?" He said, "Errol, of course." You feel me? I'm like, he trained too hard. You know what I'm saying? He worked too hard. There ain't no way he finna lose. Then the reporter asked him, he was like, "Where the chains at?" Because he had no chains at. He was like, "Man, you see the shirt. You know how much the shirt costs." Flexing a little bit. And then when he was walking off, they was like, "Yo, what round? Like, what is gonna happen?" He said 6. Now, if y'all don't know my prediction and how it goes, I talked about it on Monday on the live stream. I was basically like, I think watching the fight, Errol Spence is going to get the better of Terence Crawford from about rounds 1 through 7. I think we're going to watch it. Terence Crawford is going to take some rounds, but I think going into the 8th round, a lot of people are going to be like, well, this is going, or I won't say a lot of people, but a lot of the Errol Spence fans or people on the fence are going to be like, well, this is going how I thought. Errol Spence's work rate is really putting, is doing what we thought it would do, and now it's putting him ahead of the game. And most likely, he's going to be leading into the 8th round. But I think when the 8th round comes, Terence Crawford is going to have him figured out. And, I'm saying that's all she wrote. That's my personal opinion. But you see Jermell Charlo, he's saying, and it wasn't nothing exclusive. It wasn't him being like extra. It wasn't him being adamant about it or him being, and I feel, he obviously feels strongly about it. That's his boy. But in the moment, how it was perceived, how he said it, how he presented it. And he said this before, actually, in previous interviews where he feels like Errol Spence is going to stop him, knockout power, etc. But 6th round stoppage, that's a bold prediction because if you really look at it, I'm like, when's the last time Errol Spence has stopped somebody? I'm like, he didn't stop Ugas. He didn't stop Danny. He didn't stop Sean Porter. He didn't stop Mikey Garcia. Like, Errol Spence hasn't had a stoppage win in a minute. I think his last stoppage win would be against Kell Brook, right? and for him to be arguably fighting the number that the B to his A in this particular weight class, for that just to come out. Now, obviously, there's what's very true is you play to your competition, or you'll match the level of your competition. That people say it all the time when it comes to sports, like basketball, football, whatever the case may be. Like, all right, I'm playing against someone who's not that good, so I may match that energy because I know I can beat them by matching that energy, right? So maybe that was the case with Spence in his previous fights. And maybe when he goes against Crawford, he's going to match the energy. He's going to be like, okay, you on another level, so I'm going to stop him. But it's just when you really look at it, and I don't think a lot of people even talk about this. I think this is the first time anyone ever said this. I'm probably wrong because I don't listen to nobody else anymore. I used to listen to a lot of box channels, stuff like that. I don't listen to nobody. But Errol Spence hasn't knocked anybody out in a while. He ain't TKO'd anybody in a while. And let me make sure I'm not wrong. I'm finna put up Errol Spence's last 4 fights. That's the thing. People want to talk about resume all you want. Who they fight, who's this, who's that. That's fine. But we want to talk about resume, let's talk about everything, right? Let's talk about how those fights ended. What happened, So let's go to BoxRec. Pull that bad boy up. Sometimes I love when I'm just like on here just talking because I go into little different moods and tantrums and places. So, like I said, I was completely right. The last time that we saw a stoppage win KO from Errol Spence was against Carlos Ocampo. That was in 2018, right? Oh, let me take that back. I was wrong because I said I think Kell Brook was the last person that he knocked out, but Kell Brook, that was in 17, right? Then he went against Lamont Peterson. Y'all know how that went, right? What's RTD? I've never seen RTD before. What does that mean? Because I don't think he knocked out Lamont Peterson or TKO'd him. Oh, let me see what RTD means. I should probably know this. My bad, y'all. Okay, so RTD is basically a doctor stoppage. So you can count that as a KO or a TKO. I know it says something different, but I'm like you can if the doctor stops it, you can count that. So his last KO win, so he was TKOing everybody: Phil Lowe, Greco, Chris Van Heeden, Alejandro Beretta, Chris Aguirre, Leonard Bundu, Kell Brook, Lamont Peterson, Carlos Ocampo, and then. You know what I'm saying? We go to Mikey Garcia. We got a decision. We go to Sean Porter. We got a split decision. We got a Danny Garcia. We got a unanimous decision. Oh, but with Ugo's 2KO. Well, I think I was watching Ugo's and I felt like he did not get TKO. What round was that he TKO'd him? So, all right, I got to take back my argument. So his last TKO was against Ugas, which was his last fight. So you can't be mad at that. All right? It's just interesting. I'm like, okay, well, and that can go right with you. You're going to match the energies. You're going to match the skill set. I'm like, okay, well, Ugas, there was a whole lot on the line. Ugas at that time, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't necessarily elevate him above a Garcia or a Sean Porter or even a Mikey Garcia. Well, right now, I would say Ugas is elevated above a Mike Garcia, but he matched that energy. He was like, yo, all right, are you going blow for blow with me? If you remember, he got his mouthpiece knocked out, etc. And he stopped Bull. You know what I'm saying? It was good with it. Let's talk about it. Good to see you, broski. Hopefully everything is solid as well. I don't think he's not moving aside. I thought the fight went the distance. I thought so too, but I'm looking at bro. I'm looking at this. I'm on boxing rec too. I was like, I could have swore the same thing. I thought Ugas and Errol Spence that went to the decision to a decision, but boxing recs is showing that it was a TKO. What round was that? Let me make sure boxing rec ain't playing with me because I'm like I watched that fight. I don't remember being being in stock. But let me get it refreshed. You know what I'm saying? When you get older, you start making shit up in your mind. I ain't finna cap. Let me make sure that's accurate. Even though boxing rec don't be wrong. It had to be like a late. My phone being extra right now. Come on, bro, chill. Let me see. Yeah, okay, yeah. He stopped him in the 10th round. He stopped him in the 10th round. So I do remember it was the eye. So he did stop Ugas. Okay, so that definitely does, and y'all know I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. That puts a little bit of, you know what I'm saying, throws a little bit of salt in my argument where I said, like, okay, Jermell Charlo saying, oh, he finna knock him out in 6 rounds. And I'm like, well, he ain't knocked nobody out or stopped anybody since Carlos Ocampa. But obviously he actually stopped Ugas in his last fight, 10th round. So, I'm like, Errol Spence, who knows? Maybe that might be. Obviously, that was more than a year ago. But, my main argument, or what I would say to dispute what Jermell Charlo said, simply just factors around when it comes to Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford's knocked his opponents out in his last 4 fights. Let's pull up what Terence Crawford been doing. Right? Let me pull up that box rec. You feel me? I got that right here. So I'm like, last fight, David Aviansan, KO. Sean Porter, TKO. Kell Brook, TKO. Kabilaskas, TKO. Amir Khan, TKO. Jose Benavidez Jr., TKO. Jeff Horn, TKO. Ndongo, KO. Diaz, Dr. Stoppage. Molina Jr., TKO. His last unanimous decision, or not a KO or a TKO, was in 2016 against Henry Lundy. That's all I'm saying. That doesn't mean that Terence is going to win or anything like that, but I think the likelihood of a TKO or a stoppage happening would be a little bit more on Terence Crawford's side based on his past, on what he's done in comparison to Errol Spence. But now boxing's unpredictable. I'm like, you can't go off of like boxing math and MMA math, combat sports math, period. That you can't do that. You're like, oh, well, he beat him, so that means he will beat this dude, so that means that dude's gonna be able to beat him. Obviously, that doesn't work that way. I know that. But it's really hard for me to see Errol Spence really stopping Terence Crawford just because he just hasn't been stopping higher level opponents in his past, other than obviously Ugas. And Ugas is an absolute, he's a warrior. But he is there to be hit. That's just Ugas' style. It plays perfectly into Errol Spence's style. But I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to, Oh, let me see this one. I'm going to pull up this response right here from Charlo saying he bet a solid $25K on Spence. I'm interested to hear this. Let's see what he had to say. This is coming from 210 Boxing TV. Salute to 210 Boxing TV. And y'all know, man, Jermell don't got no love for Terence because Terence been saying he wanted that smoke with Jermell. So I'm like, he ain't never had no kind words when it came to Terence.
I gotta get in there and fight Tony. Yeah, my friends ain't gonna be in there.
Kind of hard to do a little bit.
This is huge. Like, I mean, you're on vacation right now. No, not on vacation. Okay. That out. Okay. I've been training. I've been on about this fight. I've been had this fight locked in. It was just a matter of time before the world got to hear it. All the people that was wrong, it's y'all fault. Y'all was wrong. It was Jermell Charlo fighting from the beginning. It was always that. But whenever they're not looking at our in the room, they don't understand what's going on in the game. So
I might be messy a little bit, but when Jermell was like, "Yo, the Canelo fight was always Jermell Charlo's fight," was that a shot at his own brother? Because we all know we thought it was supposed to be Jamal, right? Were you taking a shot at your own brother? Or was that just at the fans? Anyway, let's get back to it.
Obviously, people like ESPN don't think I with all him, so they just say one thing and they'll pick outlet, so they just twist it. And everybody want to follow, so they have been on the phone. Give me anything. And if you look at my side, you can tell that I've been getting serious. Not really talking.
That was a shot at his brother.
Whatever talking. My God, I don't even like it. That's a lot of that. 25,000 in Appalachia. I'm saying they put my life in it. Get back home to my family and kids and keep training down my dime. It's sure. It's so much. You know it. Respect.
Lions only, man, all the time, man. We support you, man.
25K, he said. He said he putting 25K on Earl Spence. 25. I'm not mad at it. I respect it. I respect it to the fullest. I'm like, that's Earl Spence is his boy. That's who we rock with. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect nothing different from it. Y'all know I'm a big Jermell Charlo fan, period. You feel me? Like, I got nothing but respect for him. I can't wait for his fight against Canelo. I think it's going to be rock solid. Hold up a second, y'all. All right, I just wanted to make sure that went live. But I got nothing but respect for Jermell on everything, man. And I think he's being absolutely genuine when he's supporting Errol and everything that he's saying when it comes to Errol. Like, I don't got no reason to not believe it. The real question is he finna lose his money? Is he finna lose his money? That's the real question, yo. Me personally, if you want me to be 100 with you, he's taking a big risk. But y'all know where I'm at with it. He's taking a big risk, and I think a lot of this it not only comes from him rocking with Earl Spence, but I think it also comes from the factor that he knows Terence Crawford has been talking that shit to him. He been saying, "Yo, look, I want you. I want to fight you." When you think about this, Jermell Charlo's getting this. He's getting the Canelo fight, right? So he's moving up. He's showing he a big boy, right? So he's trying to say, "Oh, yo, I'm the big da 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 da." Think about this. Think if Terence Crawford beats Errol Spence, right? Let's just say hypothetically he beats Errol Spence. Jermell Charlo beats Canelo. You know there's going to be a rematch clause in the case, and they're not going to let that happen, right? But let's say he fights Canelo. It's a close ass fight. Canelo gets split decision, right? But Jermell Charlo ends up kind of getting more than notoriety from it because it was so close, and maybe people are going to say, "Yo, he got robbed." Think about the type of hype Jermell Charlo is going to have, because I don't know if their belts are going to be on the line type thing. I think it is, but I don't know if it is. You know what I'm saying? But think about the hype behind them. So think about, and I know there's a rematch clause with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford too, but I'm like, think about Terence Crawford beats Errol Spence, Jermell Charlo gets robbed against Canelo, or even he beats him. Think about a Jermell Charlo versus Terence Crawford fight after that. Think about, that's the biggest fight in sports if that's how this shit go. That would be crazy. But boxing don't want that to happen. They want their kings to be their kings. They already have shit preset. But that would be the craziest, most unexpected match fight ever. It would be absolutely wild, like no cap. So it's like, I understand where Jermell Charlo is coming from. I understand where his stance is. I understand the type of time he's on, because he should be on that type of time. No cap. He should be. And I agree with it 110%. But what will come from it is really the real question. I don't really think much is going to come from it, though I hope it does. I hope a lot comes from it. So salute to Jermell for real. I think he has every right to stand on the stance that he's, that he's standing on. I think his statements, you know what I'm saying, he has every right to say, because I feel like he feels strongly about it. So I'm not mad at it in any type of way, and I love hearing it. You know what I'm saying? That's just real. That's my personal opinion. That's how I feel about it. If y'all feel a way about it, then y'all shouldn't be listening. Or at least tell me why you don't, you know what I'm saying, fuck what I'm saying. But all right. Enough with Jermell. Salute to Jermell. Let's go ahead and pull up some words that were exchanged between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence as of today. Like I said, there was the undercard open workout. I know. Actually, let's listen to what they had to say a day before on their arrival. Because it's a little bit longer interviews when it comes to those two. So I'm very interested to hear um, what was being asked, what was being said. This is going to be coming from Fight Hub TV.
He
Let me turn that down. So I'm interested to hear the questions and the answers, all that good stuff. Both look in great shape. Neither look drained. Obviously, we're not at the weigh-ins yet, so we don't know how much more weight each person has to cut. Usually, Terence Crawford looks really good at weigh-ins. You know, more majority of the time, usually Spence looks a little bit more drained because he's a bigger fighter. Or at least that's what we're told. Terence Crawford, he constantly be like, man, don't listen to that bull, man. Don't listen to that shit where they be like, Errol Spence is that much bigger and all this type. He's like bigger don't mean strong. And I agree with that. Like I agree with that 110%. Like bigger definitely does not mean stronger. Illusions are exactly that. But let's see what they got to say here.
with his trainer Derek James. Here is Errol Spence Jr.
Fast forward that a little
Here
bit.
you go. How you feeling?
I feel great. I'm hyped up. I'm ready to go. This crowd here made me even more hyped up. I'm ready to put on a great show, great performance. I guarantee you Saturday night is going to be a lot of blood, guts, and brains in there.
How do you balance, you're a very proud family man. How do you balance training, handling your media obligations, but also really enjoying this with your family and really partaking in the entire experience?
It's a way of life for me. It's like anything else. It's like taking a piss in the shit. This is what I do.
Now, with Derek James, your esteemed trainer, the trainer of the year of 2022, he's always said he feels like you're going to have to go to these deep waters. When it comes to that, what are your feelings on that?
I'm the big fish. That's what I live in. I live in deep waters.
When it comes to Terence Crawford, assuming you get your hand raised on Saturday, what would it mean for you to be the first ever undisputed welterweight champion in the world in the four-belt?
It too, and he's undefeated too. So that makes it all much better once I defeat him on Saturday night.
Do you believe that this, taking on Terence Crawford is happening at the right time?
Fighters at the welterweight division. We're one of the best fighters in the world, and then the winner Saturday night will be the best fighter in boxing, period.
So this is for the mythical title, best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet.
Definitely.
Also, strap season. Give me your thoughts on now. You captured the IBF, WBC, WBA, and now you're knocking.
Before we finish the interview, it's very interesting. Obviously, you got to say the right things, right? You don't want to say the wrong things. And my bad, y'all, about I don't know what's going on with my connection. So bear with me. Hopefully everything stays cool. But it's very interesting to me, his response on saying if this is happening at the right time. One of the criticisms that I've been having toward this fight last couple of days, obviously, welcome back. I'm back on YouTube doing my thing, talking my shit. Is I think this isn't happening at the right time. Errol Spence is saying both in our primes. You know, look at the crowd, look at the show out, look at everybody talking about what's going on, etc. Well, I think that would have been the case if this would have happened a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. As we know, Spence is 32, 33, Terence 35. For me to believe that they're in their prime, in their 30s. I'm not saying you can't be in your prime in your 30s when it comes to fighting, because fighting is very different when it comes to prime years. It's not like baseball, basketball, football, etc. But what I am saying is that I think the route was taken where maybe the belief in each other's star power, and I'm not saying themselves, but I'm saying more so about the people, the machine that was pushing it, wasn't as strong as they thought it should be in order to get the money out of it that they wanted. If you guys remember, one of the main talking points at the beginning of this year, last year, from a lot of outside promoters dealing with this. Remember Bob, old man Bob Arum, as I like to call him, Eddie Hearn, even Oscar De La Hoya. A lot of them, their opinion was, well, they're asking too much money. That not, you're not going to be able to pay them the amount of money that they want and be able to get it back based off of their popularity, because I don't think that many people are going to be interested enough for people to make their money back if they make this fight and give them the money that they're asking for. And what's very interesting now, with this fight, when you look back at those comments, you have two older fighters, right? And history is going to be made, because like he said, this is going to be the first time we're going to have undisputed in the 4-belt era. And this fight is easily probably going to be the biggest fight of this year and maybe in the last 2 to 3 years. This is going to easily do 1 million pay-per-view buys, maybe more. I'm confidently saying that. So when you think back and you really digest and try to really understand why people were saying this, was this to, play the old, switcheroo on you? The more we down talk it, when it actually happens, okay, let me say, the more you down talk it, the less you believe it will happen. So when it actually happens, now you have more people wanting to be involved, watch it, talk about it. Or do people really believe this? Because this was something that I talked about a lot last night with Let's Talk About It. It's very interesting to see the switch on Terence Crawford, where the narrative on Terence Crawford beforehand was he was boring. His personality wasn't there. He doesn't put himself out there like that. No one really wants to watch him. He's not a star. He's not a superstar. He's just not big enough to ask for the money or to present himself in the way he's presenting himself. Humble yourself, champ. That's what a lot of people would say. That's how a lot of people felt. Now, ever since this fight is announced, look at him when he goes on, the Breakfast Club, the podcast, wherever he's going to promote himself on $1 million worth of game. He's getting numbers. And the one thing that's consistent that I see when it comes to comments to him right now is like, well, wow. Like, if Terence Crawford would have always presented himself in this way, more people would be riding with him. More people would have appreciated him. More people would have paid attention to him. It's like, he's always been this way. It's always been the same thing. The only reason a lot of you guys are giving eyes on him now is just because this fight is announced, and you Terence Crawford haters, and it's vice versa too. The same thing with Errol. You guys are paying attention to it because like the fight's happening, so let me see what this person is like and let me appreciate it, because rather than sitting down and watching and really hearing what the person has to say, what you guys will do is, all right, well, the fight that I want isn't happening, so whenever they have anything to say or any interview, I'm just going to say, well, you're a duck, you're a duck, you're a duck. You don't want the fight. Tell the truth. I don't care. Tell the truth. You're lying. Da, 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 da. But now when the fight happens, you have no choice but to actually pay attention to who the actual fighter is and their personality, because you have no excuses to say why something isn't happening. You just have to take them for who they are. And now all of a sudden everyone's like, well, we should have seen this from day one. This is the same person he's always been. And same with Errol Spence. So my point in a nutshell is, and I'm loving that I'm at this point, like, it took me 40 minutes, y'all, but I revved up the engine and here I am. So let the motor go. You feel me? And the oil might leak just a little bit, but we're going to catch it. My whole point is, Errol is saying all the right things in that particular interview, but I pushed back in the sense of saying that, think about if this would have happened when Errol Spence was 27 and Terence Crawford was 29. Maybe, just maybe, and some would even say most likely, obviously, they would not have made as much money as they would have made what's going on now. Wouldn't have as many pay-per-view buys as was going on now. But even during that time, let's even change it. When he was 29, Terence Crawford was 31. That's even better. We still saw them as the best and the top of the top when it came to that weight class. If that fight would have happened there, it doesn't matter who the loser is. It would have built them into mega stars because everyone would have been that much more hyped for the rematch. But I think and it has nothing to do with the fighters. It has to do with the machine, the scare of what if my prize product, my A side. Actually, let me even simplify it for you. Niggas, and this is no disrespect to this boxer I'm about to say, because I got no respect for you. Absolutely, but this is real. We don't want the AJ effect. I built Anthony Joshua to this unbeatable level, and then all of a sudden, and it's a lot different too, because Errol Spence and Terence Crawford highly respected. No disrespect to Andy Ruiz, but at the time, no one expected what happened. But they don't want the AJ effect to happen, where we have this perfect, well-oiled machine, and then all of a sudden he gets dethroned by someone that no one knew, or someone had a lower expectation toward, or a lower understanding, or didn't look at it in the same light or in the same skill level. He loses, and now all of a sudden his brand still strong, but it can never be what it once was. Right? People are scared of that, and that's just what the truth is. And there's people before him who had this happen to him, but as of right now in our current era, the best you can really compare that to is the AJ effect. So it's like, I understand Earl saying like this is happening, but I don't think he believes it. He doesn't believe that. The only thing he believes when it comes to it happening, and this is my personal opinion, happening at the right time, is the fact that this is happening at the right time, where win or lose, it ain't gonna affect our career like that, right? If we're talking about 29-year-old Errol Spence, 31-year-old Terence Crawford, win or lose, the AJ effect might come into play. It might affect your career. Right now, it doesn't affect their career, win or lose. It doesn't. Because there's not that much more years left. So that little statement, I'm sorry, that had me on a. It's my personal opinion, y'all. It's my personal opinion. Remember, if y'all come up in here, man, show some love, hit the like button, all that good stuff. 42 minutes in. I told you I don't want to go that late tonight. It ain't worth it. Or maybe. I don't know. Let's see how much I'm rambling. Let's go.
Get on Terence Crawford's door to possibly capture the WBO welterweight championship of the world.
Oh, it's something that I've been told people I was going to do. Regardless of any circumstances that happen with me, I always stay the course. I beat Kell Brook. I was saying strap season. Strap me up. Y'all seen it. Then I beat Sean Porter. Got another strap. It had stuff that happened to me. But then I beat you guys. Got another strap. And then I sat out a year and a half trying to make this fight happen with Terence Crawford to get the other strap. So after that, I paid my obligation to the welterweight division. It's time to move up, and it'll be strap season all over again.
Finally, Errol, how's it going down when you step inside the ring against Terence Bud Crawford Saturday night on Showtime pay-per-view here in Las Vegas?
I would definitely be victorious. I don't know how it's going to go. Is it going to be a knockout, or I press him out, or I box him? Whatever it takes to win, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to win the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause and good luck to Errol.
It's interesting to me. So he was like, man, this is my final. So I actually respect Errol Spence a lot from that comment, because it explains a lot for him sitting out and not taking the Keith Thurman fight. But you can also raise questions as well from that comment for not taking the Keith Thurman fight. He was like, yo, the reason why I sat out is because I wanted to try and make this fight happen, because I want the last belt and I want to move up to 154. There's nothing left for me. Obviously, we know Keith Thurman was trying to make the fight with Errol. Errol gains nothing at all from fighting Keith Thurman. He's risking everything, because if he loses, even if he doesn't think he is, but the small percentage of him losing, he misses out on the Terence Crawford fight. So it's a double-edged sword. It's like, well, if you think Keith Thurman is easy work, you think you would fight him, but that shows how much respect for Keith Thurman is, because if you know Keith Thurman is all y'all casuals, that is not easy work. So why do that? So he waited for Terence Crawford. Now, Terence Crawford, in the meantime, he had himself a little tune-up fight with Avian Son. But it wasn't just a tune-up fight. It was also to prove that, yo, I am worth what I am asking. PBC out Heyman, like, I don't mind being the B fight, excuse me, the B fighter, but you know, you need to pay me my money and respect what I'm asking for, and not try to just throw me to the side, because if I can go to this unknown, you know, entity and they're willing to pay me this much amount of money, there I have worth on the open market regardless. So it's like, if I choose not to want to make this fight happen with me being a free agent, I can live with that at the end of the day, because I'm still going to be making money, right? So it's not just about the money when it comes to this fight, it's about respect. And so Terence Crawford was able to have that. Now we had something similar happen, kind of like, it's not the same situation, but there's parallels to it that you can draw from it. And what I mean by that is, if you think about Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia had a fight lined up, right? But he chose not to take that fight because he didn't want to take the risk of losing the Gervonta Davis fight. So he decided to say, hey, I'm just going to train, sit out, and wait, and I'm going to take the Gervonta Davis fight. Gervonta Davis, on the other hand, he had a tune-up fight. And I don't even want to call it a tune-up fight, but he had a fight in between with Luis Garcia, right? And he showed out well. And then when he fought Garcia, obviously you saw who the fresher fighter was. Now, I had Ryan Garcia in that fight, not because of boxing knowledge, but because of where I'm from. I'm from the same place as Ryan Garcia, so I'm always going to salute to him. But I do think a fight in between would have definitely benefited Ryan Garcia, but I don't think the loss had anything necessarily to do with him not fighting, but more so about the weight clause, him not being able to rehydrate. But who knows, man? Him having that, you know, tune-up fight in between, it may have been able to allow Ryan Garcia to handle that rehydrate clause a little bit better, because he would have already been in phenomenal shape. Whatever the case may be, though, that's the parallels you can draw between the two. Errol Spence sitting out waiting. Ryan Garcia did the same thing with Tank. Tank had a tune-up fight, or whatever the case you want to call it, with Hector Luis Garcia. Terence Crawford, he had a tune-up fight with David Abasan, or whatever you want to call it. And now they're going to be clashing. So this is going to be a very interesting fight. And the fact that Errol Spence is already saying he's going to move up to 154 after this. If he loses, will he still move up? And this is the thing, too, because Jermell Charlo's at 154, and Jermell Charlo's there supporting his brother in Errol Spence. What if Jermell Charlo loses to Canelo? I don't know if the fight, if the belt's on the line, but that means Jermell Charlo is still at 154. He wouldn't plan to move up to 160. Because his brother Jermall Charlo hasn't said that he's moving up from 160 yet, or if he's ever going to come back and fight. I don't know anything about that. But let's. So I'm like, this is a very interesting time, because I have so many questions after this fight when it comes to Errol Spence. I don't have that many questions with Terence Crawford, because Terence Crawford can stay at 147. He can stay at 147. He's a free agent, and he can fight some of these guys in PBC that you guys wanted to see him fight, because he hasn't yet. And he's a free agent. He can do that. Or he can move up to 154 and have some fun and have no problems, because he has no ties to anyone. Errol Spence, I have a big question mark after this fight, because I'm like, well, what? Okay, let's say you beat Terence Crawford. You move up to 154. What if Jermell Charlo stays at 154? You going to fight your brother? Errol Spence, if you lose to Terence Crawford, are you going to want the rematch against him? Or are you going to still move up to 154? So there's a lot more questions on the Errol Spence side of the game than there is Terence Crawford. Regardless, either way, Terence Crawford loses, he can still move up to 154 if he wanted. Fights galore. He can stay at 147, and if he doesn't get the rematch with Errol Spence, like I said, he can still fight some of these people. Think about Terence Crawford versus Keith Thurman. That's a fucking fire fight. Would Errol Spence be willing to fight Keith Thurman? I don't know, because he had a chance to do it and he didn't. That's all I'm saying. All right, so let's see what Terence Crawford had to say. Oh, salute to the people, man. Much love, everybody, man. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all not really up in here. I noticed, man, when you put debate in the title, the views go crazy, right? When you don't put debate, it's real just regular. All right, let's go. Terence Crawford. God damn.
From him,
Nigga screaming in your ear. Pause.
Terence, what an atmosphere, what energy, and it's only Tuesday. How does this feel for you?
It feels great. It's going to be a great night of boxing come Saturday night.
I know you have your whole team with you. Brian Bomack, McIntyre. I saw Steve Nelson, who's here. He'll be a part of the streaming fights. To have your whole team with you, you guys have paved the road together and gotten to this point. How special is it to have everyone in your camp here with you side by side?
It's always special to have the ones that came up with me from the ground up to be sitting here on stage with me. You know, me and Steven, from kids to fighting on the park to fighting on the big stage in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's nothing like it.
So you have been undisputed champion once before, but to be able to do it here at 147, is it going to be that much sweeter the second time around?
It's going to be even better.
I like that. I like that little wrinkle right there. That's what a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to Terence Crawford. He's been undisputed before. Why don't nobody talk about it? He's been undisputed before. Might have been at a smaller weight class. With this pressure, this ain't nothing new to him, right?
That's why you take the chances that we take. That's why we fight the fights that we fight. This is a fight that the world's been craving for. And what better way to win a fight than going out and becoming undisputed?
So for fans who are just watching your final comments, I know you've mentioned it before, but on Saturday night, July 29th, against Errol Spence Jr., what can the world expect out of Terence Bud Crawford?
Man, y'all can expect the best Terence Crawford that y'all ever seen. It's going to be fireworks to everyone. If you ain't got your tickets, I assure you, get your tickets or order the pay-per-view.
You're a student of the game. Is this sort of a throwback fight to where you can go ahead and etch your name in history alongside the greats like Mayweather, Leonard, Hagler, Duran, Hearns?
My name already up there, you know? It's just a matter of going out there this week and putting the cherry on top.
Furthering that legacy.
That's right. Furthering the legacy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Terence Bud Crawford.
All right, so I'm gonna do my little what's it good? My bleacher report. Shout out to the site. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking for the bleachers. I'm watching from the sidelines, you know what I'm saying? In the two different interviews, like Errol Spence had a lot more to say, right? And what I took from Errol Spence is not that necessarily he's trying to prove anything, but he's trying to, in a sense, establish his dominance. He's like, this is what it is, and this is how I feel. Terence Crawford, in his interview, he was very short with the words, right? He didn't have too much to say. He was just very specific, and he was thinking a lot more on what he wanted to say, in the sense of not saying the right thing, but saying what he feels like should be said to communicate how he actually feels. Like, I thought Errol Spence was kind of talking and trying to please the people and make himself, not make himself, but make people be like, yo, this, okay, Errol Spence, I see what he's on. Like, he wanted people to think a certain way from what he said. Terence Crawford, he was really thinking of his words because he wanted to make sure he said the right shit for himself, if that makes sense. And you know what I'm saying? I am over analyzing, obviously, because, you know what I'm saying, this is the third day and we're talking about the same shit. Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, this was going to be about the whole entire week, because this is the biggest fight, you know what I'm saying, history. You know what I'm saying? Like, I won't say history, but in the last decade at the very least, first time ever we're going to have an undisputed champion when it comes to 4-belt division, all that good stuff. Like, that shit is real. But me, I'm just standing by what I'm standing by when it comes to, I just see somebody in Terence Crawford where he's been undisputed before. You know, I read out the resume and how many TKOs, KOs he's had in his last fights. I just think this is his time to really shine. But at the same time, I think boxing benefits more from Errol Spence getting the win than a Terence Crawford. And that's always something that you have to keep in mind when it comes to boxing, because that's just what boxing is. I'm not saying there's going to be a cheat, there's going to be a rig or anything like that. Boxing benefits more from Errol Spence beating Terence than Terence beating Errol Spence. That's just a fact. That's just what it is. And then, like, if you're not willing to admit that, if you feel like you can't see that, that's fine. I understand it. Or if you think I'm just creating narratives that shouldn't be creative, then that's fine as well too. But Me personally, I think that's just the real. And I'm like, if you're not willing to see that, that's fine. So all right, let's go today. Obviously they had the undercard open workout. We have 54 minutes. Remember I told you I don't want to go longer than I'm not trying to go too long tonight. So we're gonna do these couple more videos, get up out of here, and we're gonna be back tomorrow for sure. But let's see what Errol Spence had to say when a fan was trying to call him a goldfish. Snaps back, says, nah, Crawford, crawfish. You feel me? Let's go. I know in this too, the audio is bad because I kind of pre-watched this and I was like, man, what's up with the audio? Sounds terrible on this. Like, why does it sound so terrible? I'm like, in the last videos, I'm like, they had the sound on point, but for this one, I'm like, the sound is terrible. Bear with me, y'all. Yeah, that little nigga ain't gonna remember shit. That's crazy. That's the one thing that kind of get me mad though. Like when it comes to these interviews and stuff like that, it's like, yo, like y'all getting paid mad money. Like you should not be repeating questions. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you asking the same exact question that you asked in the interview that we just watched, which was a day ago. Like, come on, bro. Like, either you got that's what makes me mad. You feel me? Like, why are you asking the same questions? Come on. I'm gonna fast forward this. I don't want to hear this. I say this, Errol Spence, he for sure, he looks calm, he looks collected, everything, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like that's a fact. He definitely does. Look like he's ready. He's in shape. He's ready to go. You know what I'm saying? You can't take that away from him at all. And as he should, being a professional athlete, that's what you would expect. I'm gonna fast forward this just a little bit just because the audio is so bad. I just want to hear the part where he gets a little bit mad at the fans. So let's go up some. I do respect that. I'm like, that shows the brotherhood and the respect that Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo has for each other. Because yet he could have just simply kept that question in that moment all about himself, and he was like, "Yo, if I walk out undisputed, first time ever in a four belt division, it'd be a great thing." But you also have someone like Jermell Charlo who's doing some great things, and he's fine Canelo. And if he ends up beating Canelo, being able to do what he did, like that's legendary too. So that's showing how much of a team dude, team player Errol Spence is. He must be a great family man. Like I got nothing but respect for that, regardless of where I feel or how I feel the fight's gonna go. That's very respectful answer. And that shows someone who's humble, doesn't look too much into shit where he feels like he's that guy. That means he's working hard. So it's gonna be a hell of a fight. It's crazy. I like the respect coming from both fighters, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, because a lot of times when you watch pre-fight interviews, things like that, you always hear the fighters, what I'm saying, they're saying, "Hey, yo, I'm finna KO this person. I'm gonna knock him out in this round, this many times, whatever the case may be. They're not gonna be able to get up, sleep, sleep, sleep." I've heard both Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, like when they're asked, like, "Okay, you finna knock him out, or it's gonna be man down." It's the response is always like, "I'm not gonna say that, but it's gonna be a hard fight for them." So it's like you can tell they're both mentally ready. Like they're not trying to um, create a delusion or an illusion, I should say, excuse me, where I know that this is going to be easy work and this is why I'm going to get them out of there. It's like they both know and respect each other so much when it comes to their skill level, where it's like, okay, I got to put myself in this position where I'm not going to tell myself it's going to be a 6th, 7th, 8th round KO. I got to prepare myself that it's going to be 12 rounds of absolute hell and war. And I'm going to put everything into it, and whatever happens, happens. But I know that what happens at the end of the day is going to be me having my hand raised. And that's a testimony to how good both of these fighters are. Like that's for real. Because I'm like, if you fight against someone that you feel like is not on your level, you are not going to present that much respect to them. And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way. It's going to be human nature. Like you're still going to respect them as a man, a family man, whatever the case may be. But when it comes to skill level, there'll be certain things that you say where you just gonna kind of imply that, like, on my level, like, yeah, I'm gonna get him out there in 8, or once we hit this threshold, and once we hit this time period, or whatever the case may be, he ain't gonna be able to hang with me, things like that. But I haven't heard that from either side, so that shows me that they both really, really respect where they at and what they doing, as far as what I'm saying, just being boxers and being at the level that they at. And what I'm saying, that's a rare thing. That is a rare thing. I'm like, you don't see that a lot, and that's how we have a close fight happening. So next, I'm gonna pull up the Terence Crawford interview from today. Listen to what he has to say. Maybe he may end up, going the exact opposite route of everything I was just saying, but I don't think so, because everything I've been listening to when it comes to Terence Crawford has been pretty similar in that same aspect. And then after that, man, we're gonna talk about a couple things, and we're gonna wrap it up, man. Like I said, man, tonight I didn't want it to be too long. I've been doing about 2-hour streams the last couple of days. I want tonight to kind of be a light day, but I definitely want to go live because I just want to tap in and show y'all, man, we really on the consistent side of the game when it comes to this joint again. We're really doing our thing. So make sure y'all hit the like button, show some love, subscribe to the channel if you're not part of it, comment if you got something to say. But let's go ahead and get into Terence Crawford's interview. Just enjoy it. Can I say this too? And I know this is random. Actually, I'm gonna say this at the end. I'm gonna say this at the end because I'm like, this is it wouldn't make no sense for me to say right now. All right, here go Terence Crawford interview. Let's get it. Fight Hub TV, appreciate you. Always getting fire content. Y'all been in the game and the ghost for a long time doing what the fuck you been doing. You feel me?
See the man today. You like to book that shit today.
Hard to, it's hard to hear this too, so bear with me, y'all.
See the man today. You like to book that shit today. I know you and Spence are very probably bad to you. That one bad to you. What's that talking about? Well, ladies, sir, you both come back. I love you very much. So proud to same time. Yes. See, it says, I see these so being able to sleep in his breath because I'm so excited for Saturday night. I can hardly sleep. So how do you maintain making sure that you get about rest? What is your favorite part of fighting? Is it, are you looking forward to the efforts to all the way you base them off, or a separate fight? What's your favorite part of fighting? That's fine. So, thank you for deciding for this time. All right, so for all of the next.
That's that dog in Terence Crawford. He's like, "What's your favorite part in fight week?" He said, "Nothing, nigga. Fight week ain't nothing. Fighting is fighting. I'm waiting for the fight part." Like that's that dog. Salute. I ain't mad at it none. He says, "I'm gonna let everybody know I'm undefeated in Las Vegas. Don't get it tripping." Look, y'all, I'm excited as hell for this fight. Y'all can obviously see, or y'all can take a guess that obviously I'm excited for this fight because I've been on my hiatus, but I'm back consistently doing the YouTube boxing for this particular fight, and it's gonna keep me going. So I appreciate it. I can't wait, man. Like I said, I didn't want tonight to be too long of a live or nothing like that, like I've been doing. I just want to kind of tap in. I want to keep the consistency of all the videos and stuff. I'm gonna be wrapping things up. Like I said, daily check-ins are gonna be back. We're gonna be back doing that. Motivate the people, get that workout in, do a healthy lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Have fun when you have fun, but also make sure you balance it out. We're putting some work in. So that's gonna come back tomorrow. I'm trying to do a little bit better when it comes to just the regular videos. But you know, the main point and the main goal is for me to have the consistency come back, and then little by little, we're gonna improve. Obviously, the production side of the game, camera, mics, all that type of stuff. We're gonna get there, man, when the time is right. But either way, I appreciate everybody rocking with me. Anybody who hopped up in here, you know what I'm saying, and watched this for a little bit, I appreciate that. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow we're gonna be back with another live because we follow this thing every single day, all the way till Saturday. And then Saturday we're gonna have an epic Fluence Lounge. Probably gonna be a 5-hour stream because we watching the whole UFC card, we watching the whole entire card for Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. We're gonna be litty. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a whole lot of fun. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you stay showing love. Make sure you keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate all of y'all as always. And just stay up at the end of the day. Look, I'm out for now. I'll be back again. Today was a rough day for me. Like I said in the beginning of the stream, just me thinking about it. It's like, damn, tomorrow finna be a hell of a day because I got a lot of shit I got to deal with. But I'm gonna try and enjoy the rest of my night and not think about it because that's all you can do. You feel me? Life is a bitch, but the only way you can deal with it about making sure that bitch don't motherfucking have any problems with you. You feel me? Much love to people. Double salute as always. I'll be back tomorrow. Keep tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video.